Gentlemen, the Hayes Larks Baseball Organization would like to welcome everyone to the 12th Annual First Responders Appreciation Night as the Larks take on the Colorado RoughRiders. Tonight's game is sponsored by the First Care Clinic, Heartland Dermatology and Skin Care Center in Hayes, Hayes Firefighters Local 2119, and the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge number 48. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all firefighters, law enforcement officers, emergency medical personnel, 911 dispatchers, and the many other dedicated public servants for their hard work in helping keep our community safe. We are especially grateful to the families of the first responders for the sacrifices they make in supporting these local heroes. The Larks are honored to recognize all first responders that have dedicated their lives to providing safety and security for us, and we're pleased to pay tribute to them as well as to their families. The Hayes Larks would also like to take this time to recognize Sergeant Jason Bunzinski of the Hayes Police Department for his life-saving actions. On March 23rd of this year, a 911 call came into the communication center, and it was reported that a 4-week-old premature infant had stopped breathing while at home. Emergency personnel were immediately dispatched, and Sergeant Jason Bonzinski was the first to arrive on the scene. He quickly entered the home and found the infant was unresponsive and still not breathing. Jason immediately began administering CPR, and after 3 minutes, the child began to show signs of life. While being held by Jason, the child opened his eyes and began to breathe on his own. The child was transported to the hospital for treatment and is now at home with his parents. For his professionalism and actions in an emergency situation that resulted in the saving of a life, Sergeant Jason Bonzinski was awarded the Life-Saving Award from the American Police Hall of Fame. Please join me in thanking Sergeant Jason Bonzinski for his service and congratulating him on a job well done. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we request that you please rise and join us as we honor America, our great nation, with the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's first pitch will be thrown out by the... Thanks, Brandon. And now representing this Leading off and playing second base from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 6, Hunter Rawson. Second playing shortstop from the University of Tennessee, number 3, Austin Jaslov. Batting third from Kansas City Community College, number 12, Palmer Hutchison. Designated hitter batting fourth for the Larks from Houston Baptist University, number 26, Tyler Lowe. Fifth for the Larks from the University of Tennessee, number 33, the left fielder, Dylan Dreiling. From the University of Oklahoma, number 28, Kay Brown. 8th Street Liquor Beverage Cutter, the catcher from Murray State Community College, number 7, Brady Evans. Batting 8, playing right field from the University of Oklahoma, number 23, Braden Lucart. Batting 9, playing center field from East Tennessee State, number 8, Leo Jimio. The pitching side from the Larks, 1-0 on the season. From the University of New Mexico, number 25, Cam Watson.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! For the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 12 of the 2022 Hayes Larks season. It's game 3 of 3 against the Colorado RoughRiders. First pitch from Cam Wallen clocks in at 7:10 p.m. here at Larks Park in historic downtown Hayes, Kansas. Larks 9-2 on the season, RoughRiders 0-8. Cam's second pitch will miss just inside, 1 ball and a strike. Larks 5-1 in Rocky Mountain Baseball League play, second in the league, 1 game back from the Liberal BJs. The Larks are hot as of late. They're on a 5-game win streak. They've won 8 of their last 9. So after a first pitch strike, Walton responds with 2 balls missing the zone here. Leadoff man Sam Morris getting the start in the DH spot after playing in the outfield the past 2 games. Chopper to the Larks dugouts will be foul, 2-2. Miller on deck with Soltis in the hole for the RoughRiders to get things going here in the top half of the first inning. Walton from the windup, the 2-2 delivery, off speed, sent a mile high to left side of the infield. Hutchison will let Jaslov take over, and Jaslov will not be able to make the catch. The win here at Larks Park is whipping from right center field, and that ball moved a long ways from where it was originally projected to go, and so they will give Morris the benefit of the doubt of the hits. Jaslov charged all the way in front of the mound. Kim Walton was called off, and Morris will get credited with a single, and then he goes to seconds. So we'll see if they officially change that to a double. So leadoff runner at second base for Weston Miller. He had a phenomenal game yesterday at shortstop. Made a couple of diving catches. One was an amazing one in foul territory to rob the Larks of an AB, and he sends a ground ball to left side. Hutchison fields it, sidearm throw to first is a pretty one, and he will get out number one, but Morris is 90 feet from opening the game open. Let's go to Keegan Soltis, 1 for 3 in yesterday's ballgame with a run scored and 1 strikeouts. It's his first look at Cam Walton on the year, 1 away, runner at third base. One and 0. Walton making appearance number 5 this season for the Larks. He is 1-0, was credited with the decision when the Larks took on the Great Bend Batcats in the season opener. Cam was the second pitcher of the game, but Caleb Meredith did not go long enough to get credited for the win, so it goes to the man from the University of New Mexico. The 1-1 grounded up the middle. It's going to be through, and it will be an RBI single for Keegan Soltis, bringing home Sam Morris, and the RoughRiders take an early 1-0 lead. 2 hits in the inning for the RoughRiders. Noah Gaselli, the cleanup man, to the dish now. This one will catch the zone called strike, so it should be Gaselli. In the lineup card, they gave us 33 Gaselli batting cleanup, and now it's Garrett Blankenbill who is hitting for him instead.
I have no idea what position he's
So I'll get that jotted down in the corrections. This one fouled off over the right side. Walton's first start of the year. He's struck out 7 guys through 6 innings on the mound. 9 runs have scored on him, but only 4 of those have been earned.
in the hole. Who the hell is it?
No balls, 2 strikes here to the cleanup man. Blankenbill will miss inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Is coming up next.
1-2 above the letters. We'll get to the defensive alignment for the Larks after this at-bat. We got a lot of confusion with the lineup cards here in the press box. They got Cole Mosley on deck instead of Dominic Bronk, who's supposed to bat 5th and play first base. They will scratch that, see where Bronk will actually be in this game. And that will be a strikeout for Cam Walton, his 8th of the year.
The first baseman, number 7.
2 away, runner at first base, and let's check out how the Larks line up defensively in this one. It's Dreiling in left, Jiminian in center, Lukard in right. In the infield, Hutchison in the hot corner, Jaslov at short, Hunter Austin at second, Cade Brown at first, and Brady Evans behind the plates. Graphics showed LaRue at first, but it is Brown playing first base today. No balls and a strike. Grounder to third base coach and head coach Adam Miller. So this is actually Dominic Bronk at the plate, not Cole Mosley like who was on deck. Bronk getting the start at first base tonight. He works at 1-2 counts. Bronk in yesterday's ballgame had a 1-for-3 effort. His lone hit was a single in the 13-2 win for the Larks. and he would be called out. Look at Walton, paints the inside corner, strikes out back-to-back, his 9th strikeout of the season right there, and he will only allow 1 run in the first inning. We go to the bottom half. Hayes trailing by 1 on Larks Network.
Leading off the inning for the Larks from the University of Texas at Arlington, the second baseman, number 6, Hunter Rawson.
Bottom of the first, top of the order for the Larks. Hunter Rawson will lead things off for the hometown team, down by 1. Whether you're a Larks fan, a RoughRiders fan, or just a baseball fan, or you happen to stumble upon our stream, thank you for tuning in tonight. It's a great Friday night, and we appreciate you spending it with us here on Larks Network. It's going to be a fun game as the Larks look to sweep the series against the RoughRiders after winning 13-2 yesterday in 7 innings. Tyler LaRue with the walk-off 2-run shot to left field to end the game early and rule the RoughRiders yesterday. 1-0 delivery to Hunter Rawson, popped over the right side in the wind, carrying this one. Braun comes off the first base bag and has some good adjustments on the ball and record the catch in the first base coach's box for outs number 1.
The University of Tennessee, the shortstop, number 3, Austin Jaslov.
So we go to Austin Jaslov, the 2-hole shortstop. Played in his first game against the RoughRiders yesterday on the season. He went 3 of 5 with a couple of runs, an RBI. All 3 hits were singles for the shortstop from the University of Tennessee. It is Matt Garcia on the mound for the Colorado RoughRiders, a southpaw in their all-white unis. Larks with the white pants, breaking out the camo jerseys for the second time this season with the white lettering and white number, blue caps, blue helmets for Hayes. Jaslov waits patiently in the right-hander's batter's box, and the 1-0 will catch the outside part of the plate on a curveball from Garcia. 1-1. Garcia goes to USC Aiken. It's a D2 school in South Carolina. It's a Louisville, Colorado native. The 6'2 redshirt freshman delivers home. Jaslov, the redshirt freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, takes it opposite field. It carries all the way close to the 319 sign in right field, but it is foul, dropping behind the bullpen of the RoughRiders. 1-2 to Jaslov. At the top of the inning, the RoughRiders got 2 hits, no walks. They left 1 on base, but scored the opening run of the ball game. The 1-2 to Jazz. Takes it opposite again, delivers it out of play. We'll have to get a swing A little earlier on this next one as a 1-2 counts.
Souvenirs. You got your foul ball. Please bring it back to the Larks nest, where you get $1 courtesy of the Hayes Police Department.
A warm night at the park with that wind, but the fans still showed up here on a beautiful Friday in Hayes. Jaslip chops one to the left side. Folks dives for it. It goes off his glove, and Miller, who was there to back him up, is going to be sent the opposite direction of him, and it's going to be a 1-out base hit for Austin Jaslov. That was a tough play for Folks, and you can't fault him for not bringing it in. It was a good effort, but the Larks get their first base runner and first hit of the ball game. Jaslov now 4-6 against the RoughRiders. Palmer Hutchison comes to the plate. He's a third-year Lark, but this year against the Larks, he's 2 for 9 with 2 runs scored, driven in 4 runs. His 2 hits, a double, and a home run. Getting the start at the 3-hole tonight. That's the highest he's hit all year, and sees one pitch, takes it deep to left center. Benedetti moves back and then moves to his right to record outs number 2. I wonder how much the wind had to do with that ball. Looked really good off the bat, and then Benedetti had to rush in all of a sudden. That wind here in Hayes is strong. You could see it shaking our camera around during the pregame, and it's messed up some of the papers here in the press box, and it's played with a few balls out in the air tonight. Hutchison now 0 for 1 the day. 2 away for Tyler LaRue, the DH. What a stretch he's on. He is 5 for 8 in his last 2 games, scoring 5 times and driving in 8 runs. He's picked up a double and a pair of home runs, one in each game of the homestand. Last night's was a big one, a walk-off shot brought in Jack Terosian and ended it 13-2. Garcia missed the zone on the first pitch. The second one's in the zone. LaRue takes it to the right field side. It rolls. And Jaslov's going to go to first to third on the 2-out single from Tyler LaRue. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. LaRue now 6 of 9 against the RoughRiders this series, and he is on a 9-game hitting streak now. He had a little bit of a slower start than what we expected out of him, but now he's looking like the Tyler LaRue we see in BP. Not that he had a bad start, it's just now what he's doing wasn't what he's doing now, and he's in a groove, and you can see where the Larks have kept him at the top of the order all season long, and it's paid off for them in the past week. Dylan Dreiling to the dish. He's a man who's brought in a ton of RBIs this year, 17 runs driven in for him. That's second on the team. He has 1 at third base and 1 at first base to drive in. No balls and a strike to the grandson of Larks' 40th year head coach, Frank Leo. He's a Tennessee commit, just graduated from Hayes High School. And the ground ball goes to the right side. Soltis, who's already playing in the grass, goes to his right, fields it in the grass behind the infield, and will get Dylan Dreiling out at first base. Larks get 2 hit, but they leave 2 on in the bottom of the first. They will trail 1-0 as we go to the second. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned into Larks Network. Top of the second here in Hayes, Kansas. Cam Walton returns to the mound for his second inning on the bump. Misses on the first two pitches of the second inning to the 6-hole Brett Benedetti, the center fielder. Stands in the right-hander's batter's box versus the righty. Walton sends one to deep left field. Dreiling is on the warning track looking up, and he will make the catch at the warning track, and that's one where you're thankful for the wind as a Larks fan here at Larks Park. Might have just saved the Larks from a 2-run deficit.
The RoughRiders right fielder, number 27, Trevor Moore.
Takes us to the 7-hole. Trevor Moore in right field tonight, was in the outfield yesterday and staying there for today's game. Swings and misses at this one. No balls and a strike. Off speed fools him. Will go down 0-2 quick. Walton, a 6'4 freshman for the New Mexico Lobos out in the Mountain West Conference. He's a Cleburne, Texas native. And will get his third strikeout victim of the day. It's a drop third strike. Brady Evans loses it, and the throw to first will not be in time. He just completely couldn't find it between his legs and taps his chest protector and will get credited with an error as the drop third strike allows Moore to reach on a 3-pitch strikeout. It's Walton's 10th of the season. Brady Evans, can't get upset with him for that, though. He has been so great for the Larks defensively the past 2 years. Him and Hutchison, I swear I say it twice a week, how consistent those guys have been in their careers for the Larks defensively. Brady caught a team-leading 155 and 2/3 innings and led the team in runners caught stealing last year with 7 of those. He's getting his first start against the RoughRiders in Hayes and on the season, so it takes 4 games against the RoughRiders before he's put in the order. He said, I talked to him yesterday, I was like, why haven't you played? And he was just kind of, he had scheduled rest days, but he was itching to get back in the lineup. He was tired of sitting and watching. He wanted to get back out there and play. At the plate is Dom Folks. He fouls this one off and is down the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One away with Moore at first base. Defense straight up. And Walton steps off the rubber and looks Moore back to second or first base. Inside delivery out of Cam's hand. It looked like it was going to hit Folks. It moves closer to the plate, but still misses inside. 2-2. Walton slipped a little bit on that delivery. Larks down 1-0 against the RoughRiders. Uncharted territory for them this season against the RoughRiders, and Walton will strike out back-to-back. He struck out 4 of the last 5, all swinging except for the one against Dominic Bronk.
Now batting for the RoughRiders, the catcher, number 24, Jack Hamilton.
Punch out number 11 this season for Walton. That is now tied for the team lead with Hunter Parker, who's thrown 9 1/3 through 5 appearances. First pitch here to the bottom of the order on the top of the second. Jack Hamilton will be above the letters. 1-0 counts. Game 3 of a 3-game homestand against the RoughRiders, but Larks will still have 3 more games at Larks Park before heading to Liberal on Wednesday. You got 2 against the Cougars on Saturday and Sunday. We'll have Monday off and then be back in action against the Kansas Cannons on Tuesday, and you can catch all the games right here on Larks Network. 2-0 Walton delivers. This one drops to the letters, and it's a called strike here against Hamilton, the catcher. Walton dangles his right arm, looks in, goes quick with tempo, misses the zone here. Or will be a called strike. I assume since Brady had to get down to block it and missed the zone, that's what I get for making a guess. Nice pitch from Cam, who's really used breaking pitches to his advantage today. The 2-2 home. This one will be blocked by Brady Evans. Shuffles to his right to scoop it up and keep Moore at first base. The RoughRiders left 1 on in the first inning, and Cam wants to make him repeat it here. 3-2 count with 2 away in the top half of the second inning. Righty. And Cam Walton will strike out the side. 3 straight punch-outs for Cam Walton. And will take us to the bottom half of the second inning. Through 2 innings from Cam Walton. 2 hits, 5 punch-outs, and 1 earned run. To the bottom half we go. Hayes down by 1. Bottom half of the second here in Hayes. Cade Brown, the first baseman from the University of Oklahoma, will lead things off. Swings at his first pitch and really down the counts, no balls and a strike. Garcia's second inning in the game. He allowed a couple of hits in the first inning, but left runners stranded on the corners and ended it, keeping the Larks off the scoreboard. In one of the games against the RoughRiders this season, Larks put up 12 runs in a second inning. They would love to repeat that success here. This second inning, no balls, 2 strikes for Cade Brown. Brady Evans on deck with Lukart in the hole for Hayes. Brown this season against the RoughRiders, he's 1 of 6. He scored 2 times and picked up a trio of walks in the process. Garcia from the stretch, a ground ball to the shortstop. Miller, he scoops it. The throw to first will beat Brown by 1 step for out number 1.
Tonight's A Street Liquor Beverage Matter.
So go to Brady Evans getting his first start against the RoughRiders this season. Evans having a good year. We got Larks pitcher in the booth. Hunter Parker predicts a bloop single over the head of Miller at shortstop for Brady Evans, who goes down the count. No balls and a strike. Evans off to a good start this season. Has a .500 on base percentage. He's picked up 5 hits through 17 ABs. One ball and 1 strike to Evans. Braden Lukart on deck. Jeminian in the hole. See the southpaw will step off the rubber and give Brady Evans a chance to take a breath, readjust, and get back in the box. Evans committed to Northeastern State to go play for the Riverhawks, one of two former Murray State Aggies on the roster, and both of them found their way to the MIAA conference. 2-1 home to Evans. Outside scoreboard at Larks Park reads a 3-1 count. So that is correct. It's a hitter's counts for Evans with one away and a bases empty situation. 3-1 home. Evans swings and sends it over to the right side. Out of play will go 3-2 with the counts. Evans has played in just 5 games for the Larks this season. He missed the first game of the year against the Great Bend Batcats, but then got back in time to Hayes for the Friday season opener, and now it'll be a 3-2 count as this one misses low on the 2-2. Evans' last game was on Monday, played against the Saints, went 2 for 5, and drove in a run in the process. Get a payoff pitch here. Garcia sets up and delivers. It's inside at the feet of Evans, and he will draw a long walk and go to first base. Larks get their third base runner of the ball game. Evans has wheels. We'll see if they let their catcher run or if they want to give him a courtesy runner.
From the University of Oklahoma, the right fielder, number 23, Braden Lucard.
Right fielder Braden Lucart to the dish. He's 2 of 7 this season against the RoughRiders, scoring 4 times, driving in 4. He's picked up 2 walks. Evans will be running for himself. Had a pretty decent lead at first base, although it is tough to steal against a lefty compared to a right-handed pitcher, just because what they can do with pickoff attempts looking at you. Nice block from Hamilton. And he keeps Evans at first base. 1-1 counts. Hamilton getting the start behind the dish today. It's been Miracle who's been starting in most of the games against the Larks this year for the RoughRiders. Two-one as this one misses above the letters. RoughRiders going to snap their 8-game losing streak. They've been outscored 75-20 this year. 2-1 into the right-hander's batter's box. 3-1 hitters count for number 2-3. Guard a 6-foot lefty. No appearances this year at the University of Oklahoma, who is been on a tear recently for the quest for an NCAA title. Their softball team won, and their baseball team had a good day at the College World Series today. Got a couple of Sooners on the roster for the Larks. Cade Brown in his second year, and Braden Lucart in his first year. This one misses outside. Lucart checks before walking to first, and it was a ball. And the Larks will pick up back-to-back walks against Matt Garcia. It's Garcia's first appearance versus the Larks this year. He puts 2 on with 1 out. Bottom of the order, Leo Gemini into the box. Garcia went to Monarch High School in Colorado. Was unranked by perfect game with no grade. Leo Geminian shows bunts and pulls it back as this one goes outside to the center fielder from St. Lo, France. Lucart at first base, Evans at second for the Larks. Jiminian shows bunts. The pitch misses inside, and the runners stay where they're at after Hamilton takes it off his glove, has to run 20 feet to go get it. So 2-0 count. This year at USC Aiken, Matt Garcia appeared in 2 games for the Pacers, threw an inning and 2/3 and had 4 earned runs, gave up 3 hits, 2 walks in those 2 appearances. Colorado native versus France native. The 2-0 will miss outside to the France native, and the guy they call Frenchie will have a 3-0 count. He looks at Frank Leo to see if he'll get a green light, and we'll see what he does. Imagine the bunts at least will be pulled back. From where the third baseman Folks is playing, Jiminian has a speed if he can lay one between home and third to get to first base on a bunt single. He's taken all the way as this one goes down the pipe. 3-1 hitters counts for the center fielder. Jiminian 3-7 this year against the RoughRiders. He's scored 2 times and driven into. He had a game where he had 3 triples against him. That was in Colorado, and he's also stolen 1 base against the RoughRiders. The 3-1 inside, 3 straight walks from the Larks, and that's going to be enough for Adam Miller to come out of the dugout and want to talk to his pitcher. Larks load him up with only 1 away in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Top of the order in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Bases loaded for Hunter Rawson. Sends his first pitch to the shortstop Miller to Soltis at second. The throw to first is going to be wild, and the inning-ending double play will not go through, and the Larks will breathe a sigh of relief. They scored 2, and Rawson will advance to second on the E6. But we'll reach on a fielder's choice. Evans scores. Lukart scores. Jiminian will go to the dugout. So runner in scoring position at second base. Larks up 2-1. Go to Austin Jaslove. That was almost exactly what the RoughRiders dreamed of. You get your mound visit, calm the guy down. He gets a double play to the shortstop, or a ground ball to the shortstop, who wants to turn an inning-ending double play. They get the guy at second. The throw to first is just off the bag, and Bronk couldn't come up with it. And it allowed the Larks to keep this 2nd inning going. Oh, 1 to Jaslove, hit to left field. It's going to be plenty good enough to bring home Hunter Rawson, who just jogs, but Jaslove goes for 2, and he gets to second base on an RBI double. Turn on the wheels and keeps the inning alive. Larks up by 2 now. Jaslove 2 for 2 today with a single and a double, a home run and a triple away from the cycle, but he's the lone Lark with a triple, and he also has 1 home run in the season. Almost had 2 in the season opener. He hit one deep in Great Bend, bounced off the top of the wall. He settled for 2 bases instead of 4. Go to Palmer Hutchison. Hutch 0 from the day after flying outs to Benedetti in the 1st inning. That was one that the wind really got a hold of. 1-0 count to Hutch. Seventh batter of the inning for Hayes. It's the second time through the order. We're at the 3-hole third baseman. One-0 to Hutch is going to be off of his shin. He will take a painful first base. Jaslov, who was head to third, will be sent back to second base, and Larks put 2 on. And all but the leadoff man of this inning have reached. In this inning that have come to the plates. So that double play that almost happened would have ended the inning, and the Larks stay alive. There's 2 away for Tyler LaRue. Jaslov at second. Hutchison at first for LaRue, the DH, who singled in the first inning, and the cleanup man is looking for more. He gets time. He's now at an 8-game hitting streak. That's the longest active one for the Larks and the longest the Larks have seen this season. Hutchison, who is at first base, has the second longest one with 7 as LaRue grounds one to the shortstop Miller. The toss to Soltis will be in time for the Larks. Larks put up 3 in the second inning, will take a 2-run lead to the third after 3 straight walks and then a double. To third we go. Hayes up 3-1. Top of the third, and it's a 1-0 count to start things off from Cam Walton in his third inning of work. It's Sam Morris at the top of the order to lead things off. He's 1 for 1 today with a single. 2 balls, no strikes. The DH. Miller on deck with Soltis in the hole. The 2-0 is popped over the left side. Jaslov looks up and will let Dylan Dreiling take care of it. Dreiling takes it off his glove, and Morris will reach on the E7. To Weston Miller we go. The shortstop grounded out to Palmer Hutchison in the first inning. He's 0 for 1 today, but has that runner at second base. Larks have their second error of the game, and it will put Cam Walton in a predicament, but he's worked well with runners on base today, and he's forced two to stay on the base paths when the inning has ended. 1-1 count to the shortstop, who sends a ground ball to the other shortstop, Jaslove. He likes to go to third, and it's a heads-up move from the shortstop from Knoxville for out number 1 of the inning. Miller will reach on a fielder's choice, and Morris just caught making a bad decision, and Jaslove makes him pay. 1 away. Keegan Soltis the box. He's 1 for 1 with a single back in the first inning. Blankenbill on deck with Brock in the hole for the Rough Riders. Ground ball to the right side is going to be between Brown and Rawson. Well struck and well placed for Soltis. His second hit of the ball game. He's 2 for 2.
The left fielder, number 21, Garrett Blankenbill.
It's 2 on with 1 outs for Garrett's Blankenbill. Soltis at first, Miller at second. Blankenbill struck out in the first inning in his lone AB. It was part of a 5 strikeout versus 6 batters face stretch for Cam Walton, who's struck out 12 on the season. 1-0 counts, sent to the right side.
Still giving away dollar bills for foul ball.
Here at Larks Park, 1-1 counts. On top of the third, we got Larks second baseman and UTA Maverick Tanner Rice up on the mic now. Tanner, how we doing, bro?
Doing good, doing good. Got the lead.
This one will be inside from Walton. It's a 2-1 count. It's your second time on the mic. I know the fans have been dying to hear your voice again.
I don't know if any of them said that, but if they have, I'm glad to be back.
It's a 2-1 count. Blankenbill in the box. His delivery swung on and missed. So Walton trying to make the best of a situation after leadoff runner got to second.
Yeah, actually, I was going to comment, the wind, I was actually in the dugout in the first inning, and the wind, that first ball took it, probably started in the outfield, and it took it all the way back in front of the pitcher's mound. They said if you probably let it go, it probably went foul, and now you just saw it, the wind just took it away from Dylan.
The wind got that one with Dylan. Palmer Hutchison struck well to center field, and it was brought back in, and then in the second inning, Benedetti hit one to deep left field that was forced back into field play. What could have been a home run, but Larks will turn a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play, and they do what the Rough Riders couldn't, and will be rewarded for it. They'll take a 2-run lead to the bottom half of the third here in Hayes. Bottom of the third here in Hayes. Dylan Dreiling was the lone Lark to not step to the plate in the second inning, and he'll lead things off. Grounded out to Soltis in the first inning. He's one of 2 Larks to not reach today. Still Garcia on the mound. Dylan Dreiling a little early on this swing. Will send it to the right side. No balls and a strike. Larks picked up just 1 hit in the second inning, but were able to score 3 because of an error and 3 walks. They did leave 1 on in the process. He's up 3-1. It's an 0-1 count to the left fielder from Hayes, Kansas. Brown on deck with Evans in the hole for Hayes. Larks riding a 5-game winning streak. And Dylan sends one to the right side. Bronk fields it at the letters and will toss to Garcia. In time, it'll be a 3-1 ground out for Dreiling, now 0 for 2 on the day. So Tanner, you've seen both sides of things. You've been at Larks Park and you've been in Colorado playing at those stadiums, and all the players always rave about the atmosphere at Larks Park. We got a packed crowd tonight. What's the big difference about being here at Larks Park, and how much does that atmosphere change things as a player?
Well, summer ball, it's tough to get energized for the game, but when you're here, it's given to you. Foul ball. Go foul, keep going. And the wind really just pushed that foul. I can kind of give you an example. Like there's many times where like teams from out of state, from Colorado, just like would rather come and travel the 5 hours and stay in a hotel or whatever and play here at Larks Park just on the atmosphere and just on like how fun it is even just to play as a visitor.
And I say I always try to describe what it's like at Larks Park, and that it's just different, but it's hard to understand until you actually get here and experience a game at the ballpark. It's an 0-1 count to Brown, who fouled one off. He was a leadoff man in the second inning. He grounded out to Miller to start it, and he has a 1-1 counts. Brown, the first baseman tonight. He was supposed to pitch yesterday, and then the game was ended in 7 innings due to a run rule. So we got to save his arm. His family's at the park tonight to cheer on the Larks' second-year player. Brown hits this one to deep center field. Benedetti will get under it and record outs number 2 of the inning. So two-way base is empty for Brady Evans, who walked and scored the opening run for the Larks in the last inning.
Brady Evans.
I heard that you've been coming to Larks Park ever since you were born.
And say I'm a Hayes kid, so I've gotten to go from being a kid out here watching the games to now working with them, and it's weird. I need to show Coach Loon, but I got his card from when like he played for the Larks like 9 years ago, and I was a kid. So I've been a part of Larks, experiences. So it's always cool to share with guys who have no idea Hayes, Kansas exists before they get a call from Coach Leo.
That's amazing.
0-1 to Evans, will miss low, 1 ball and a strike. So you're one of a handful of UTA Mavericks that have gone through the Larks system over the past 5 or so years. Who was the man who convinced you to join up in Hayes?
Yeah, I was actually just about to say that. It was about a year ago today, or a year and 2 months, I should say. Because when I first came out to UTA, one of the first kids that I met was Sam Crowell, a Larks player last year. He actually was, I was asking him about summer ball, and he was telling me all about Hayes and how it's such a blast. And I was like, yeah, that's where I want to go. So I would say he's the person that convinced me.
Sam Crowell, a catcher last year, is this year's catcher, second-year catcher for the Larks. Brady Evans will ground one to the shortstop Miller, and the Larks will go down in order in the 3rd inning. It's a 1-2-3 third, and we'll go to the 4th. Hayes up by 2, scoreless here in the 3rd. Top of the fourth here in Hayes, Chris Echeverria will take over for Cam Walton, who goes 3 innings strong. Walton's final line, 48 pitches through 3 innings, gives up 3 hits, 1 run, and it was earned, and he struck out 5 in the process. Appearance for Chris Echeverria, number 6 of the season. His last one was against the Saints on Monday. He threw an inning. Two balls, no strikes here to Dominic Bronk, the first baseman, who struck out looking to end the first inning. Echeverria, a righty from the Dominican Republic, going up against the lefty first baseman. Echeverria this year, 7 1/3 innings pitched. He has an 8.59 ERA. Giving up 11 hits and struck out 6. Half of those strikeouts were in the home opener when he threw 1 inning and struck out the side. It's the earliest he's appeared in a game. And he will get a ground ball up the middle. Jaslov dives forwards, but it'll go under his glove. And it'll be a leadoff single for Dominic Bronk. And we'll do something we debuted last year and bring it out for the first time this season. Now see if it goes through. It's the debut of the booth cam here at Larks Park. We got Tanner Rice on the mic. This is Carson Ackerman, the voice of the Larks, as Brett Benedetti comes to dish 0 for 1. Tanner, give us a scouting report of our boy Chris out there.
Well, I don't really have much of a scouting report, but I do have a story from this last trip we were in Colorado. So we we just played a game, and all of us hadn't eaten for probably like 6 hours, so we were all
more
starving.
than that, bro.
Yeah,
more than that.
It was. We were all so hungry. So our coaches decided to take us to buffet Golden Corral, and I got the pleasure of witnessing one of the greatest achievements I've ever seen. Eating one. Chris probably ate about 8 steaks in one sitting.
Oh, nice play from Jaslov on a line drive. But Chris isn't like a huge person.
It was very impressive. I would just say that. It was very impressive. It was 7 steaks plus other things along with it. It was insane.
So it weren't like just steaks. There was like sides, and it was like he filled up each plate. He's a ridiculous feat for the kid from the DR. One away to Trevor Moore, who struck out in the second inning but reached on a drop third strike. Evans blocks this one to keep Bronk at first base after his leadoff single. Chris has some really good stuff on the mound, got some velo and some movement on it, but location's been the name of the game for him. When he locates it, he's one of the best in the RMBL, but when he's missing the zone, he has some struggles. But that's been the story for Chris, like everywhere. It's not just going to ground. When we go somewhere, that boy eats.
Yeah. I actually have another story. So Chris obviously does not speak much of English at all. And the one thing that everybody on the team knows now because of him, the phrase is "tengo hambre," and that means "I am hungry." He says that constantly. Every time we pull up to the field, it's "tengo hambre."
I hear him say it all the time, and then now guys are saying it too to Chris. It's like their way of greeting each other now is "tengo hambre."
Oh, man.
It's a 1-2 count here to Moore with one away and a runner at first base. Folks on deck, Hamilton in the hole. Echeverria, Arizona Western Matador, along with Larks infielder Ben Ferenzi. Ground ball up the middle. It goes to Rawson and then to Jaslov for one. The throw to first will not be in time. Larks will settle for just 1 out on that play. And now there's 2 away. Reaching on the fielder's choice is Moore.
The third baseman, number 25, Don Folks.
Take us to Dom Folks, the 8-hole who struck out in an inning where Cam Walton picked up 3 strikeouts, facing 4 because of the drop third strike. So runner at first base. Larks looking to goose egg the Rough Riders for the third straight inning. Moore now
I don't know where that missed.
0 for 2. It's that one close to the zone. 1-0 to Folks. I think one of the funniest things on like the road trip is like you and Chris always talking, but you'll go on your phone and type in like Google Translate what you want to say in English, hand your phone over to him, he'll type what he says, and that's just how it does.
Yeah.
It takes 2 minutes to communicate one sentence to each other.
Yeah, the tough thing was, like, me and Chris constantly talk through like the Translate app, but the tough thing was when we were actually on the road, my service would go in and out, and so I would want to say something to him, and then I would wait. I'd have to wait like maybe 15 minutes for the service to kick back in, and then I'd be able to tell him, and then by then he would probably forget what I had to say, what we were even talking about in the first place.
I say one time your phone wasn't working, he comes over to me and he just like points at my phone, he's like, translate, and I'm like, I don't have service either, man. But Chris is one of the funniest guys on the team for just always joking, always smiling on the mound and in the dugout and on the bus.
Yeah.
2-1, he catches the high outside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Rough Riders have picked up 4 hits, 1 in this inning. They left 3 on and scored 1. They're yet to draw a walk, and that's where he would like to keep it that way. He's only given up 6 walks this year through 8 innings on the mound, and he will pick up strikeout number 7 here and leave that runner at first base. Echeverria through 1 inning, 1 single out, 1 runner left on, and 1 strikeout, and he will take a 2-run lead to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Braden Lukehart to the box. who will lead things off. Matt Garcia's day will be over after 3 innings. It'll be Zach Link making his second appearance against the Larks. He gets a fly ball out of Braden Lucart that the wind changed the direction of. And he will be outs number 1 of the 4th.
Center fielder, number 8, Leo Jimian.
So to Leo Jiminian 0 for 0 on the day with a walk in the second inning. He was out on a fielder's choice play. 1 away. Base is empty for Jiminian. Jiminian's our main. We were talking about Chris in the top inning and having to use your phone to communicate with him, but Leo's our go-to translator for Chris when we want to have faster conversations.
Yeah, we actually when we're on road trips together, it's Leo, and then it's me right next to him, or right behind him, and right behind me is Chris. So when I'm talking to Chris and I don't know what he's saying, Chris talks over me to Leo, and then Leo translates to me, and then the process continues. If we didn't have Leo, we'd have to use translator constantly.
2-0. Check swing from Jiminian. He will go around. 2 balls and a strike. Leo speaks 3 languages. He's a native of France, so he speaks French. His dad's from the DR, so he's learned Spanish there, and he's learned English. 2-1. Link delivers. Ground ball over to the left side. Miller will get called off by Folks, but the throw is going to be way too late for the speedy Frenchie. And Jiminian will be aboard on a 1-out single, his first hit of the day, and he now puts his hitting streak at 1 game.
Fun fact about Leo is if you don't know, if you know the 60-yard dash, it's a common showcase. In showcases, it's common to do, and a fast 60 is probably a 6.5, and Leo runs a 6.3. So Leo flies on the bases. So anything on the ground, there's a chance for a hit. And just like that, stolen base.
Without even a throw, Leo has been fast. He led the Larks in stolen bases his first year. And for Jiminian, that'll be stolen base number 6 of the season. Puts himself in scoring position at second base with 1 away. This delivery will miss the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 away. One count to Hunter Ross in the top of the order. The 0-2 Hunter Ross, and a guy with some wheels, ran a 6.76 60 when he was in high school. And I'll take a call, strike 2. Ross, a Weatherford Community College product. Larks have seen quite a few guys from that college over the past few years. Carlos Tavera was one of the latest ones, and now is with the Baltimore Orioles organization. 1-2. This one bounces way in front of the plate. 2-2. Link will set up, deliver from the stretch, the 2-2 home. Rawson drops and will watch it miss the zone and work himself into a full count. Link pitched against the Larks in Colorado in the game that the Larks cruised to a 20-3 victory. As Rawson sends this one over the left side and will stay alive and get a second payoff pitch. You were part of that 20-3 victory, batting at the lead-up spot. How fun of a day was that, just to really just dominate through 6 innings?
Yeah, the first couple innings was fun. We were scoring, but 4-hour game was... Actually, was that the game we played 6 innings?
Yeah, that was one that we moved the run roll up 1 inning so we could go back and chill.
Yeah, that game actually was fun. I think it was 19-11 game. That game was
against the Cougars the day before.
That was a 4-hour game. That was just super long.
That game was miserable because it was super hot out too. I remember talking to Luke Terabig, and he was like, "Yeah, we won, but that was 4 hours."
Yeah, I wish we could have just shortened that.
So it'll bring Austin Jazz Love to the box. 2 for 2 in the day with a single and a double after Rawson reaches on a walk. Jeminian takes off, and we won't get a throw down to either base. Rawson steals second base for Hunter Ross, and that is stolen base number 4 against the Rough Riders this season. And there is one away with 2 in scoring position for Austin Jazz Love. Jazz late on this swing. We'll send it over to the right side. 0-1. 1-1 count, 1 away. Jeminian at second base. Rawson at second base. Jeminian at third. And it's going to be a 3-hit day for Austin Jazz Love. He's going to drive home both guys and pick up his second single of the day, and RBIs 1 and 2. It's a 5-1 lead for Hayes. Jeminian scores for the first time. Rawson scores for the first time as well. Larks up by 4. Jazz Love had 3 straight multi-hit games at one point in the season. His hitting streak now at 2 games. And he is having a 3 for 3 day with 1 away here in the bottom half of the 4th. Larks have a 3-run inning in the 2nd and a 2-run inning here in the 4th. Call strike here to Hutchison. No balls and a strike. Tanner, anything looking different about Hutchison's outfit today?
Yeah, he's wearing my pants. Before the game, he brought his pants out and they all had turf stains on them, and I wasn't playing today, so we actually swapped pants. So I think he usually likes to wear his pants down, if I'm correct, but I only had my white pants or pants up, so he decided to take my pants. That may look a little tight, but they do the job.
He's 0 for on the day with a hit by pitch in his new pants. Has an 0-2 count, and we'll send one off the right side of his bat over to the right side of play, and it goes out of play over the dugouts of the Rough Riders. First responders night here at Larks Park, so game was a little bit late to get started, but it was a cool ceremony in the 12th annual First Responders Night. Jazz Love will be safe, stealing second base, puts himself in scoring position, still only 1 out. Zach Link pitched 2 2/3 against the Larks on Sunday, gave up 3 runs that were earned, 4 runs did score, 5 hits, 2 walks, and he punched out 2. Hutchison hits this one hard to left field, but it'll be about 8 feet foul of the line in left field. That would have been extra bases for the third baseman batting at the 3 hole. Hutchison's been on a tear. He's driven in 4 against the Rough Riders alone in 2 games. Had the day off yesterday. Is back in the order. Ben Ferenzi got the start at third, and now Ferenzi having the off day. Hutchison off with this swing, and he will be down on strikes and out number 2 of the inning. That'll take us to Tyler LaRue, who's 1 for 2 today with a single. He reached on a fielder's choice. How about LaRue's day yesterday? Had the walk-off home run. It was a big day for him, but also in that game, LaRue 2 of 4 with 2 runs scored. His other hit was a single. Takes a hard cut at this one. No contact, no balls, and a strike.
Watching Thor or Tyler LaRue take batting practice, it's just actually fun to watch. Like he is barely swinging, and the ball just flies off his bat. He's got so much power.
I think it was you who was on the broadcast on the game day game, and we were talking about this kid was due for a home run, and then all of a sudden the home runs start rolling in for him here back in Hayes. Hit 2 over the past 2 days, and he's got a lot of pop on his swing. 1-1 count to Thor with 2 away. Jazz at second base with Dreiling on deck. Brown in the hole for Hayes. 1-1 becomes 1-2 after this one will be a called strike. Larks have 5 hits, 2 singles just in this inning. Or 5 hits in the game, 2 hits in this inning, both of them singles. They've also picked up a walk, and they've scored 2 runs. It's the 6th batter of the inning, and the 1-2 home will be outside. Jaslov getting a good jump on pitches, getting about not quite halfway to third base before the ball is in the glove of the catcher, Hamilton. 2-2 counts with LaRue. And he sets up. And we'll go from the stretch. Righty versus righty. The 2-2 delivery. Inside. 3-2 counts. We'll get another payoff pitch. Larks working Link's pitch counts up pretty quick, and the payoff pitch will be off the glove of Hamilton. Jasla's going to move up to third base, and LaRue will be aboard for the 2nd time today. We'll go to Dylan Dreiling, 0 for 2.
The left fielder, Dylan Dreiling.
Dreiling with a ground out to Bronk and a ground out to Soltis. One started the 3rd inning, one ended the 1st inning. LaRue at first, Jaslov at 3rd, and Larks up in a 5-1 ball game. Dreiling pops this one up over the grandstand, 0-1. Dreiling just graduated from Hayes High as the guy 2nd on the team in RBIs with 17. He's batting .364 and has an OPS at 1.179. 0-1. Will be 0-2 after he gets a called strike. Dreiling 3 of 5 against the RoughRiders this year. He scored 4 times and driven in just as many. He's also picked up a pair of walks, and one of those 3 hits, was a home run. The 0-2 home, check swing, and Dreiling will go around to end the 4th inning. Larks do score 2. They pick up 2 hits and 2 walks, but we'll leave 2 on as we go to the 5th.
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
top half of the fifth here in Hayes. Chris Echeverria will turn to the rubber after the Larks walked twice, left 2 on in the fourth inning and scored 2 runs. They now have 5 in each of those categories, 5 hits, 5 walks, 5 left on base. It's a 5-1 ball game. Echeverria on the mound facing Jack Hamilton to get the bottom of the fifth going, who struck out in the second against Cam Walton. The 0-2 home will be called strike 3. Echeverria has now struck out back-to-back, and there is one away with the bases empty here in the fifth inning. One away, top of the order. Morris 1 for 2 today with a single. Grounds one to the second baseman, Rossin, who will throw to Brown in time for outs number 2 of the fifth inning.
The shortstop, number 13, Weston Miller.
Two away, base is empty for Weston Miller. 0 for 2. He reached on a fielder's choice in the third inning. Takes one inside.
Yeah, playing against this kid that's up to the bat, I don't know his name, but he is as scrappy as it comes. Just a undersized kid playing shortstop. He made an amazing play to me yesterday. Hit a ball, it was going foul, and I hit a fly ball and it was going foul, and he just dives and catches it for the first out of the game, making all these plays around the field.
I was going to say, I was talking about that earlier. He had that one catch in foul territory and robbed you, finishing your at bat. And he was also the kid who coached the RoughRiders on Sunday when they didn't have their head coach Adam Miller.
Really?
So he's running the lineup card and then goes out and robs guys of hits. And he will be aboard for the second time today off of this single. Soltis to the box. He is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Two away. Evans blocks this one. So, fourth batter of the inning. Echeverria has allowed 2 singles. He struck out 2 through 1 2/3.
Rumor has it, this last year, Chris topped out at 101. Don't know how true that is, but heard that from a couple people. And probably, I think he sat around like 94, 95, and that's a pretty good velo there.
You can say I wouldn't be surprised because he's got crazy velo, and then the movement on his pitches, on his breaking balls, adds to it. And yeah, Chris, not a guy I'd want to face the plates. He will miss and walk Soltis on 4 pitches, who very emphatically throws his bat to the dugout. There is 2 on with 2 outs.
The left fielder, number 21, Garrett Blankenbill.
We go to Garrett Blankenbill, who's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a double play. 1-0 counts here to the left fielder. That double play in the third was an inning-ending double play, was what the Larks needed big time, and keep damage where it was at. One-0 counts on the scoreboard. I was looking down at the notes.
It's 1-1.
Is that correct? Okay, I was
Yeah.
going to say there's no way there was only one pitch in that process.
Still giving away dollar bills for foul balls. We can bring it back to JoJo or Jim at the Larks nest, courtesy of the Hayes Police Department.
The wind has slowly died off. We've seen that affect quite a few balls, but should still have somewhat of an effect on ones today. Hasn't died off too much. 2 strikes on him. Echeverria looking to end the inning against Blankenbill. Will miss above the letters here. Two away, 2 on. Echeverria will get a ground ball to the left side. Hutchison can't get a glove on it. Miller's going to wave the other Miller home. The throw is going to be off the line, and it will score a run. Weston Miller scores off the bat at Blankenbill, and it's a 5-2 ball game. Blankenbill gets his first RBI against the Larks, and there's runners on the corners now with 2 outs. Base is empty. Chris Echeverria on the mound. We got quite a few guys sitting up in the pen. There was one moving earlier. Ground ball to the left side. Hutchison fields this one, and we'll get it to second base in time. RoughRiders pick up 2 hits and a walk and score 1 here in the 5th. They'll take a 3-run deficit to the bottom half. Hayes up 5-2. Bottom of the 5th here in Hayes. It'll be Kate Brown who lead things off for the Larks. Brown on the day, 0 for 2 with a ground out and a flyout. Link still on the rubber. He misses the zone on the first pitch and gets this one to catch the corner.
Cade Brown is also, he's another guy that takes a very impressive BP. His ball, and the thing about him is he sprays it all over the field when he takes BP. It's not just pull side, it's oppo, it's gap to gap. Line drives, bombs, name it. He can do anything in BP. And when he was beverage batter, I think he was he our second beverage batter of the home? I think he was our second beverage batter, and I think he had 3 hits that game.
Have you been the beverage batter yet?
Yeah, I was the beverage batter, but it was for the game that got moved up a couple hours, and not many people knew about it. But I'm pretty sure we still had a good amount of people here. I think I got 2 hits. And that was also the game we had all the pitchers sub in for the position players because we were beating them pretty bad.
So Brown will be popped out. What'd you think of being the beverage batter? You like the pressure, or?
Yeah,
because guys hate it, but some guys love it.
My first at bat, I think it was probably the first time in my life I got mad for walking. In my first at bat, I think I got a walk, and I was like, well, fans aren't happy about that.
You say I've heard guys say they've gotten boos when they've gone out as a beverage batter.
I don't think it's that dramatic, but fans aren't really. If you do well when you're the beverage batter, the fans definitely show their love for you. But
it's a 1-1 count here to Brady Evans. Larks up by 3. And Evans hits this one well to left field. Blankenbill runs back. He's at the warning track. Lost it for a second. And it'll drop on the warning track. It'll be a stand-up double for Brady Evans.
Looks like he kind of misread that. Thought it was way over his head, and it was probably just a couple steps over it.
Hey, and there you go. The beverage batter comes through for the Larks. And Brady Evans gives them what they want.
Funny story before the game. Braden didn't look at the lineup. He knew he was in it, but he didn't look at it, and he thought that he was in the 7th hole. And so when he ran out, he thought he was, because they announced batting 7th, the beverage batter, and he thought he was the beverage batter, and he didn't realize until he got all the way out to right field that he was batting 8th. Funny story.
That sounds like Braden. I remember when I met Cade Brown, or not met Cade Brown, but when Cade Brown got here, I asked him about Luke Arn. I was like, what's that kid like? Because I know you played with him at OU. And you're just like, he's a goober. And I think that fits right in with what you just said and what I've gotten to know out of Luke Arts.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the funnier guys on our team. Always making everybody laugh.
2 balls, no strikes to the guy who thought he was the beverage batter. He walked back in the 2nd inning and flew out in the 4th inning, but he has scored once today. Three balls, no strikes. This one will miss inside, and Lukart will pick up walk number 2 of the day. Evans at second, Lukart at first.
Center fielder, Leo Jimia.
Frenchie to the box. He is 1 for 1 on the day with a single and a walk. He scored back in the 4th inning. So bottom of the 5th, Hayes up by 3, and Leo whips this one to left field. It is going to roll to the wall, and he'll score Evans. And Lukart is going to be held up at third base. Jeminian picks up his 4th double against the RoughRiders, his 2nd hit and back-to-back innings. Larks have 2 doubles, a walk, and now a run scored here in the 5th inning. That's the second time Brady has scored today, and he puts the lead at 4.
Top of the batting order for the Larks, the second baseman, Hunter Rawson.
So with Hunter Rawson. Rawson at the top of the order for the first time this season, taking your spot at the top of the order. Do you like being like the first guy to go? Do you rather sit back and watch the pitcher for at least one at bat before you go up and get a read?
I don't know. Usually I've been the 2-hole, but I have been. 2-hole is probably my favorite because you get one batter to see, and you see how he's attacking them with fastballs or off speed, or especially when the leadoff batter is also a lefty. But leadoff batter is also nice because usually the pitcher is trying to just find the zone, and so it throws you a good meatball fastball that you should be on time for. But yeah, being the leadoff batter, it's very important. Set the tone for the game.
Rawson has a 1-2 count. 1 away, 2 in scoring position in a 6-2 ball game. This one misses outside. Two home. Rawson hits this one well to left field. Blankenbill will record the catch. Larks fans thought they are witnessing another home run against the RoughRiders, but Rawson will be content with a sacrifice fly and bring home Lukart from third base. Jemenian stays at second. Run score number 2 from Lukart. RBI number 1 from Rawson.
For playing in Colorado, that's a home run.
So especially at that middle school we played at on Saturday and Sunday, the Larks were sending a lot of them out to play over the fence. Left field, right field, center field, all over out there. For Hunter Rawson, that's RBI number 5 this season. And for Braden Lukart, run scored number 5. Jaslov at the plate. He has a 1-1 count. Jaslov 3 for 3 on the day with 2 singles and a double. Has driven in 2 runs. 2 away. Jemenian at second for the Larks with Jaslov at the plate. Pops this one up. It heads towards the Larks dugout, and Ben Baker Livingston tries to make a play on it, and the bullpen won't bring it in. 1-1 counts, becomes a 1-2 count for Jazz. He is 6 of 8 at the plate against the RoughRiders in 2022. Watches the 1-2 miss low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. He has Hutch on deck with LaRue in the hole for Hayes. And this one's hard, hit off the barrel of Jaslov's bat. They're going to send Jemenian home. The throw from Blankenbill will pull Hamilton away from the plate. Jaslov's 3rd single today, his 4th hit. It's a 4 for 4 today. Drives in run number 3, and Jemenian scores for the 2nd time today. It's an 8-2 ball game now in Hayes.
4 for 4. That's what you strive to be every day.
In a sport where you can be successful 33% of the time, go 1 for 3 in the day, and that's considered a good day at the plate. You can go 4 for 4. That's outstanding for Jazz. The Larks have had a few games where guys have reached in every at-bat, so just really cruise against some of the teams in Colorado. We'll have our 2-game series against the Liberal BJs, who are in first place. That'll be a couple of big games next week after the Larks have won 8 of the last 9 in the RMBL. Hutch sends this one to the right side. Moore will field it in right field. Larks score 3 runs. They've scored 5 over the past 2 innings. They bring 7 to the plate. 2 doubles and a single will end the inning. Larks up by 6 as we move to inning 6. Top half of the 6th here in Hayes. Hayes up by 6. It's a 1-0 count, and it becomes a 1-1 count here to Brett Benedini, 0 for 2 on the day. Brady Rose making his 2022 Larks debut. He's a 6'4 sophomore out of Dallas Baptist University who had a postseason run this year out of the Missouri Valley Conference. He's a Westminster, Colorado native. If you've been around following the Larks for a few years, that name should sound familiar to you. He pitched for the Larks back in 2020 and had a really good season on the mound in a season where the Larks sometimes has some struggles pitching. Made 9 appearances for the Birds. One of them a start. He went 1-0. Had a 1.42 ERA. Allowed just 9 hits all season while striking out 28 guys. Had a whip below 1. Works a full count here to the center fielder and will go from the windup to southpaw. Delivers. Payoff pitch swung on a miss. Strikeout number 29 in the career for Brady Rose. Strikeout number 1 on the day for the Colorado native. 1 away for Trevor Moore, the right fielder, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fielder's choice. That summer in Hayes back in 2020, Brady had the lowest OBA on the team among pitchers with 18 or more innings pitched. Had those opponents to a 134 batting average. Second in ERA, earned runs, and strikeout per 9 innings rate among pitchers with at least 18 innings pitched. And he was tied for third in strikeouts despite pitching a combined 28 and 2/3 less innings than the pitchers in first and second. Pop-up goes over to the right side, and it will be out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Here to Moore. Rose 1-2, Dallas Baptist, Patriots on the roster along with Preston Tabor, who we expect to see on the bump tomorrow. This one popped over the grandstand. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a ball sent to the backstop again. Rose pitcher number 3 of the day for the Larks. Echeverria finishes with 2 innings. And this one's hit to left field. Leo Jiminian will dive for it. It bounces in front of him. And will be a 1-out single for Moore. Rose played with the guy who dove for it in center field in 2020, Leo Jiminian.
The third baseman, number 25.
He's one of 4 Larks from that season. Jiminian, Hutchison, Rose, and Dreiling. Rose and Tabor joined us in the last Colorado series after finishing up their 2022 campaign with DBU. 1-0, and Rose will go from the stretch. Line drive up the middle. It's over the head of Rawson, and it'll move Folks to first base off his first of the day. Moore to second base. This is Carson Ackerman on the call with Larks infielder Tanner Rice. It's an 8-2 ball game in the top half of the 6th. If you're just joining us, Larks have scored 3 runs in the second, 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 4th.
Those are 2 really good swings right there. 2 good pitches. When you're a pitcher, you make 2 good pitches and 2 hits for the result of it. You just got to tip your cap.
So 1-0 count to Jack Hamilton. Rose will continue to pitch well here in the 6th. There's 2 on with 1 out. Called strike 1. Morris on deck, Miller in the hole. Rose this year at DBU, the second in the team on earned runs. He sees a fly ball to the center fielder. Jiminian reaches up. The throw to the third is going to pull Hutchison away from the bag. It wasn't a bad throw necessarily, but it will allow Moore to go to third base. Hamilton now 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. One against Walton, 1 against Echeverria. Runners on the corners with 2 away here in the 6th inning.
The designated hitter, number 1, Sam Morris.
Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the 6th inning. LaRue, Dreiling, and Brown.
You don't see many people trying to run on Leo. You just an in and out. I think when we first took in and out was the first time I actually saw him throw to bases, and it was quite impressive. His ball just shoots low and hard and skips on this turf since it's pretty hard turf, and surprised he ran there.
Larks have been really good defensively this year. Terosian's had a great defensive season in the outfield with Jiminian. Dreiling's been consistent for the Larks, but really there's been a handful of errors that are just kind of silly mistakes, but the defense has saved quite a few runs for the pitching staff this year. 1-1 counts. Rose will get some chalk on the left hand. Before he was at DBU, Rose spent a couple of years at McLennan Community College in Texas. Made 22 appearances there. 15 of them starts, went 11-1, and won a JUCO World Series.
McLennan is a really good ball club. JUCO out of Texas. We actually got strike three. We actually got to scrimmage them in the fall, me being at UTA, and they actually played really well.
So Rose, the McLennan product, will pick up 2 strikeouts here in the 6th inning, and will take us to the bottom half. Hayes up by 6. Tyler LaRue to lead things off in the bottom half of the 6th inning here at Larks Park, and hits one really well to the left side, but it's going to be plenty foul. LaRue is 1 for 2 on the day with a walk and a single. It's still Zach Lank on the mound. Second outing against the Larks. He's a Golden, Colorado native, is a 6'5" junior at North Park University in Chicago. Gets one lined at him, and he dodges it, but allows it to go into center field. Foot-off base hit for Tyler LaRue, his 2nd single today, the 3rd time he's been aboard. And Larks get a leadoff base runner for the first time today.
The left fielder, Dylan Dreiling.
So I guess Dylan Dreiling, 0 for 3 on the day.
So you and Dylan both being from Hayes, and you going to Larks games, how long have you known of Dylan?
Well, Dylan and I went through school together.
Oh, okay.
So we went to Wilson together, and so there was a year in high school. He was a freshman, I was a junior. So I've known of Dylan pretty much my whole life. Plus, I knew he was Leo's grandson, and so I've known of Dylan pretty much since he started elementary school, and I was there too. Same with Palmer. I've known Palmer since I was a little kid too.
Nice. I feel like everybody in Hayes, if you're around the same age, you know of each other, especially if you're into sports and that kind of deal.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ground ball to the right side, and it'll go down the line, roll towards the corner. LaRue's going to round second hard, and Leo's going to hold him at third. Dreiling has a stand-up double, and now the Larks have 2 on with nobody else. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Dreiling's hitting streak now at 5 games. I'm going to say you nailed the experience in Hayes. Everybody kind of knows everybody. It's not a huge town, about 20 to 25,000. And you say I started playing basketball against Palmer when I was in 3rd grade. I remember playing him, meeting him there, and so I've known him since then. You just kind of, you know everybody in Hayes, and especially as a Lark, people will know you when you leave in August. So like, you know, it's probably started already for you now. Like you walk into a restaurant or something like, oh, there's a Lark.
Yeah, I can actually give you a good example. I was actually at my host family's house yesterday, and I'm with the Worths, Shonda and Kent, and I think Shonda ordered a package online or something, and it was getting delivered, and she went to go open the door, and the mailman and Shonda both knew each other by name, and it's just I just thought that was the craziest thing, that they both know each other by name. This is such a small town.
So that's just Hayes, man. With talking about like the Larks and people knowing you, that's what like I was talking to Kate about it. And he was like, people like view you as a celebrity, and Hayes like you can't like go anywhere without people knowing who you are. Like you walk from like the clubhouse to the dugout, and there's kids that will ask for your autograph as you walk there, just about 100 feet. You're just well known in Hayes. Ground ball to the shortstop. Another hop throw to first is going to be in time, but Bronk went up for it, and by the time he came back down and tapped that right foot, Cade Brown had already gotten there. He legs down his first of the day. Larks have had everybody reach. LaRue scores on the RBI single. That was a really athletic play from Bronk to at least get that ball and tag the bag, and they will rule it as an E6 officially, so not a single for Brown. But LaRue still scores, but Bronk at least saved Dreiling from scoring. 9-2 Larks with Brady Evans at the dish. Dreiling at third, Brown at first. 1-0 count to Evans. Larks have 10 hits today, 2 in this inning, a single and a double. They've walked 5 times. Scored 9 and left 6 on base. Runners left on base has really killed the RoughRiders. They left 8 on through 6 innings and only managed to get 2 across. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Runners on the corners. Evans watches this one go outside. 3-0 count to the catcher from Murray State.
I think Brady might have the best hair on the team. It's just, I think he told me he does something to it to make it so curly, but when he has like the full catching gear on and it's just like flowing in the back, I think he told me he's been growing it out for about a year and a half now, and has been taking care of it and stuff. So I
think that's a hot take. Some people don't rock with mullets. Hayes is a community that seems to support the mullet.
Kansas loves the mullets.
But I don't know. The consistency in Hayes seems to be LaRue got the best hair on the Larks.
LaRue, I don't know. He's just got the best look.
Pop fly over to the right side. Bronk goes left, and will hold the runners where they're at.
Yeah, he just got the look. He's got like a very masculine look to him, very big. He just looks like he's like a very intimidating guy. But like I said on the broadcast on Monday or on Friday, I mean, he's just the nicest guy, always smiling. I've never seen him get mad once.
He's a goofy dude too. I saw him in the starting lineup line tonight, just jumping around when they announced his name as a DH.
Might have been intimidating me, or imitating me. Yesterday I was jumping up and down. I was trying to get hype for the game. I don't know if you caught that on the broadcast.
Well, the broadcast saw your run out there.
I always try to have fun on the baseball field.
Ground ball goes to the second baseman Soltis. He will get Brown out at second, but Lukehart will reach on a fielder's choice. Dreiling scores in the process, makes it a 10-2 ball game.
I just noticed the original shortstop isn't playing shortstop anymore. I wonder if something happened to the original shortstop while he's out of the game.
That's Brooks at shortstop.
Just made a good pick. save the second baseman.
Two-way with a runner at first. I don't see Miller on the field anymore because it's still Soltis at second base and Folks at third. Maybe they're just giving him a break. He's played in every game against the Larks this season. The 0-1 to Dominion, outside and low, 1-1. Runner at first base with 2 outs. Larks have scored 7 runs in the past 2 2/3 innings. One home. It's at the eye level. Dominion over the plate. 2-1. Dominion, good day at the plate. 2 for 2 with a walk. 2 runs scored. 1 run driven in with a single and a double. 2-1. Misses outside. 3-1 hitters counts. Run rule run at the plate in Leo Dominion. They run ruled the RoughRiders yesterday 13-2 and 7. And they run ruled them in Colorado 20-3. Dominion reaches for one with a hitter's count, sends it over to the grandstand 3-2. Rawson on deck with Jaslov in the hole. Get a payoff pitch. Running to second is Lukart. It's a ground ball to Folks. The throw to first is going to be a little bit off the bag, but Bronx reaches for it, and it pulls his back foot off the bag, but not before he got it tapped there one time. And Dominion will be out. Larks get 2 runs here in the 6th inning, and we'll take an 8-run lead to the 7th. We got to talk about one thing. You lent out your pants to Palmer Hutchison, and then you lent out some other gear to Larks pitcher Caleb Meredith, who's not in the lineup tonight, but he's known for his outfits, and we got some content about him. Caleb's fit of the day. I mean, what a look right there for the guy who's always wearing. I swear he has a different hat every day. He got the WWE belt today, and what's up with the cleats?
So he's got some turfs on, and those are actually mine. I've actually owned those for quite a while, and I haven't really got to wear them much, but I knew coming out here I was going to get some opportunities to wear them with our colors being red, white, and blue. So I brought them out to match, and he just had the hat on and everything. I just had to lend them to him so he can finish the fit. Plus he's got the WWE Championship belt on just to give the special touch. He's a guy that's a comedian on our team. He's just always cracking jokes, always making us laugh.
Arguably the funniest guy on the team, and what a fit right there. He sounds like the way he was talking about that he wants to make Caleb's fit of the day a returning segment through future broadcasts.
Yeah, we gotta up it the next time. Gotta make the outfit one more special touch to it.
Top half of the 7th here in Hayes. Ben Baker Livingston will take over on the mound for the Larks after they scored 2 in the 6th inning. BB out in New Mexico. He's a Texas native. Gets a pop fly over to the right side. 0-1 counts. So today for Weston Miller, new shortstop into the game is Brooks, who fielded in the last inning and is getting his first at bat. Brady Rose throws just 1 inning in relief. Final line from him: 1 inning thrown, 22 pitches, gives up 2 hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts.
A little off the plate there. But we just have so much talent on our pitching staff, and it's just BBL is just another guy that you can just throw out there and he's gonna give you just like that, strike 3. He's gonna give you outs, gonna give you solid innings, and very consistent.
Will strike out Brooks looking. Strikeout number 8 this year for Baker Livingston through 5 1/3. Baker's 3rd appearance of the season, his first one in relief. Baker Livingston has one away with the bases empty. Larks striking out the RoughRiders today. Strikeouts number 10 for the Larks. Ground ball to the second baseman to Rosson, and he will get it to Brown in time for outs number 2.
Rosson, he's actually a natural shortstop, and when he was in JUCO 2 years ago, he played a ton of outfield, and then when he came to UTA in the spring semester, we actually had 2 solid shortstops, so they wanted to try him out at second, and so he's been working out at second, and now they have him playing second here on the Larks, so maybe that might be his new position.
You nervous about your job?
I don't know. I'm going to have to compete for it definitely next year.
Ground ball to Jazz Love, and BBL works a 1-2-3 7th in the top half of the 7th inning. He gets one lucky fan. A free car wash at Tommy's in Hayes because of the clean 7th inning. Well, Tanner Rice, thank you for joining again on the Larks broadcast. I know the fans were dying to hear you again, and it was a fun ride. I'm sure we'll get you back on here soon.
Yeah, maybe my next off day I'll come back up here. I had a blast up here.
Top half of the 7th here in Hayes. Hunter Rosson will lead things off the top of the order against the new pitcher, Sam Morris, who's moving in from the DH spots. No balls and a strike here to the second baseman. Rawson hitless today, but he's been aboard 2 times and also has a sacrifice fly, and he scored once and driven in 1. 0-1 counts for the UTA Maverick. Jaslov on deck, Hutchison in the hole for Hayes. One will miss the zone. Low 2-1. Line drive at the second baseman, Brooks, who falls to it. It won't be able to bring it in, and it'll be a leadoff single for Hunter Rawson, his first of the day. His hitting streak now at 5 games. The leadoff base runner for Austin Jaslov. Garcia got the start, doing with Link in relief. Now we're to Morris. Jaslov hits this one well to right center. It's going to drop left to the 349 marker in right center. Jaslov rounds second, has the third. The throw to third is going to be off the bag. Jaslov will slide over the bag but keep a hand on it. And it's an RBI triple for Jaslov, his second triple of the day. And now he's just a home run short of the cycle. But I'm not sure he's going to get to it with a talented Larks batting staff behind him. And 1 run away from a run rule with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. But what a day for Jazz. 3 for 3, 2 singles, 2 doubles. Or excuse me, 3 singles, 1 double, and a triple. Larks up 11-2 now. Twelve hits for the Larks now. Jaslov with 5 of them. Hutchison swings at this one outside. 1-1. Swing and a miss, or a foul tip. 1-2. Ground ball over the right side. 1-2 will stay the counts. Sacrifice fly, a hit, or a wild pitch could end the game. Larks walked it off yesterday in 7 innings with a LaRue home run. This one will miss off the plate. 2-2. Stepping off the rubber is Morris. Hutchison grounds this one to the second baseman, Brooks, and it'll go past him, and Hutchison will walk it off for the Larks here in 7 innings. It's their 13th hit of the day, and they win it 12-2 and sweep the RoughRiders on the home series. These two teams will meet again in Colorado, but for now here in Hayes, they win it by 10. So Larks pick up 3 hits in the 7th inning, 2 singles and a triple. Finish their day with 13 hits. They walk 5 times, leave 7 on, and score 12 runs. As for the RoughRiders, 8 hits, 1 walk, 2 runs scored, and they leave 8 on in the process. So that'll do it for today's game. Larks sweep the RoughRiders, and they will be back in action tomorrow night here at Larks Park. First pitch at 7 p.m. versus the Denver Cougars. Even though it says RoughRiders on your screen, that should say the Denver Cougars tomorrow. First pitch at 7. Game 1 of a 2-game series here at the ballpark. Winning pitcher today, Chris Echeverria. Walton didn't go long enough to pick up the win. Chris's first of the season. He's 1-0. Walton as well is 1-0 on the season. Larks have a great day at the plate. Jaslov drives in 3, goes 5 for 5. 2 runs scored from Evans, 2 runs scored from Lukart, and Jaminian scores 2. 6 runs from the bottom 3 in the order for the Larks. Rough Riders fall to 0-9 on the season. They are 0-8 in league play. Last place, 8th place, 7 games back, and they've now been outscored 87-21 this season. As for the Larks, 10-2 this year. They are 6-1 in league play. They're second, just a half game back from the Liberal BJs, who they'll meet up with on Tuesday for a Wednesday, for a 2-game series in Liberal. So Larks win at 12-2 here. This has been Carson Ackman on the call, joined by Larks infielder Tanner Rice. We will see you tomorrow night for Game 1 of 2 against the Denver Cougars. Thank you and have a good night.